There you go. All right. Well, let's Sean. Let's go ahead. We will dive in now, as even though we are not participating as as Notre Dame fans in this, we will preview the college football playoff. Round one gets underway beginning this Friday, and let's just take a look. Reminder at the bracket here as we get underway Friday night. It'll be number 9 Alabama. As much as we don't believe
Alabama,
they should be in. They are a 1.5 point road favorite at number 8 Oklahoma. Wait, I think I have that one too on here, right?
We had it.
Oklahoma.
Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN and ABC. Your over-under on this one, Sean, is 40.5.
You know what? Screw Alabama. Like, it's just so freaking annoying. And I get all the SEC broadcasts down here, and like they were like interviewing. They were interviewing. I don't even know if it was the head coach or the assistant coach or the GM, but it's definitely from Alabama, and they're just talking how great it is to be representing the greatest conference in the greatest tournament. And I'm just like, you shut your mouth.
Shut up.
Now, having said that, there's a very dangerous part of Alabama being here in this spot, and that's because they know as well as you and I know that they have no business being there, that the system weaseled them in, and they're playing with house money now. And so I feel like despite all the struggles, there is the risk factor that Alabama may just come to play, and they might be some trickery, and there could be all kinds of things because as far as they were concerned, they were as good as gone, and here they are. Having said that, F Alabama, I'm going to take Oklahoma in this one. Cover and win. I think the defense for Oklahoma is very good. If their offense can get something going at home, I think that they could easily run away with this one by over a touchdown. So give me Oklahoma. Give me the under, though. I feel like they're going to win by a touchdown, but it's still going to stay under 40.5. I think both defenses are very good. I'm going to take the low ball on the points.
Yeah, look, when I say screw Alabama, I didn't think that I could dislike them, their team, their coaches, their fans, their players, everything about them more than I did prior to this evening as I was finishing my show prep. And apparently during the media hit today, Alabama's defensive coordinator Kane Womack said, let's not get it twisted. We've been playing win or go home since Florida State. Well, I'm sorry. I remember 2 losses in the last 4
go
weeks. So you should be home twice, actually, not playing on the road. So, yeah, if you couldn't be more unlikable than you already were, you are now.
High tide.
So roll tide.
High tide.
That said, look, there's rumors that Alabama's quarterback has a bad back. I saw John Mateer get tackled by a tackling dummy yesterday at practice. If you're going to bet on this game, bet the under. Both of these offenses stink. Oklahoma's defense is really good. Alabama's defense can make like one stop a game. So, yeah, bet the under if you're going to bet this game at all. But screw Alabama. Give me Oklahoma. I want Alabama to just
Oklahoma.
I just want Alabama gone. Get them out of here and get them out of my life for until next fall, please. So Oklahoma wins. They cover the 1.5 and take the under in that one. All right, now we turn the page to Saturday noon on ESPN and ABC. It is number 10 Miami. They are 10-2. They travel to number 7 Texas A&M, who is 11-1. A 3.5 point home favorite. You're over under in this one, Sean, 51.5.
We got to battle 2 teams here. You got a team that feels that they've been underrated all year, but has a ton of talent and just really hasn't gotten the credit for it. And then on the other side, you have Miami. Just not good. overhyped, overdrawn, everything else. Um, I know Miami's full of talent, and early on in the year, preseason, despite thinking Notre Dame was going to beat them, I had Miami rolling in with an ACC title, rolling into the playoff, and I think I may have even had them winning a game or two. Then I watched them play, and I just don't see anything exciting about Miami. I don't understand why the push to get them in here, and I think I think both of the games we're calling here early are bonehead decisions by a broken decision, and I want them to look silly. And the other one, I'm not sure. This one I am. I think Texas A&M is going to steamroll the Miami Hurricanes. If you think a hurricane on the East Coast can destroy your campus, wait till you see what Texas A&M does to your football team. Give me Texas A&M by a mile, and give me the over at 51.5, because Texas A&M wants to prove a point as much for their own benefit as much as it is to the detriment of Miami. So A&M by a mile and a whole ton of points.
Yeah, unfortunately, the last time out, we saw Texas A&M play their worst game of the season, and it came at the worst time for them. And honestly, the sad thing is probably at the worst time for the team that we're fans of, because that loss maybe dinged the resume. But again, we're the only team that had a resume that got stronger in the last 2 weeks, including this past weekend when 17 million people or whatever it was watched the Army-Navy game, or 7 million people, almost 8. But yeah, look, and I wanted to be clear, because some of the comments I've seen on our social media and our video posts, like people are coming back to like the Notre Dame Miami debate. My issue isn't even necessarily with Miami, right? They beat us. Like I don't. My issue isn't them getting in over us. My issue is the things that Notre Dame's been saying all along, that there was no reason Alabama should have moved above us 2 weeks ago. There is no reason Alabama should have stayed up where they were after getting blown off the field in the SEC title game. And if you want to put Miami ahead of Notre Dame because of the head-to-head, do it from the jump. That was our issue. It had nothing to do with being ranked above or below Miami. You want to put Miami above us. I still think we're a better team. They beat us head-to-head. So I want to make sure that's out of the way, and that's clear. My issue is more Alabama and the system of how we get here, not Miami being ahead of us. That said, Miami stinks. They're not good. They got lucky that they played Notre Dame week 1. That's their best win. Since then, they've only gotten worse. They've lost to 2 unranked teams. A&M, they had their worst showing against a team ranked in the top 20. So I think these two teams are dramatically different. I think A&M is that much better. Oh, and they're playing at home in front of 108,000 Texans. Miami is used to playing in a stadium that the only time they sell it out is when Notre Dame comes to town. So this is going to be an environment they're not used to, and I don't think that they live up to the pressure. I think everything about their season was a social media and PR campaign to get themselves in, and they're not going to know what to do with it. Give me Texas A&M also by a heck of a lot. I think they easily cover that 3.5. I will take a slight under because I don't think Miami scores enough, even with Texas A&M's points, to get over the 51.5. All right, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern time on TNT or HBO Max. It is, and I still can't believe we're saying this. Number 11, at least seating-wise, Tulane at 11-2. They travel to number 6, Ole Miss, who is 11-1. A 17.5 point home favorite. Your over under on this one is 55.5.
Yeah, I mean, good story for Tulane. Great job for you guys. Winning your conference, getting there, showing up. This is obviously going to be where it ends. I don't think there's very many. There's no Boise State trick play that's going to do this. Now, having said that, 17.5 points is a lot of points. And I know Ole Miss is very good, but you're now down a coach. Things are a bit mixed up. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here. Do I think Ole Miss could cover 17.5? Yeah, I mean, definitely. But I think Tulane's going to come to play, and I think there will be just enough trickery to keep it close, at least from that retrospect. So give me Tulane to cover for 17.5 points. 55.5 is I can't believe it's 55.5, and they expect them to win by that many. Jeez. No, give me the under on that. I guess. I guess if they're going to keep it close, they're going to have to stop Ole Miss, or Ole Miss is going to have to stop themselves.
Yeah, and again, I don't fault either of these teams that we're about to crap on for the next two predictions, because all they did was what they could, it was what they could do. They won their conference. It's not either of their fault that the ACC is so bad and doesn't know how to set up a tiebreaker properly, to allow an ACC champion, probably Miami, to get in. That said, especially, and it seems weird because Tulane's the higher ranked team, but there's not a chance that this team survives the first half, much less this game. 17 and a half, I feel like you can comfortably bet Ole Miss to cover. And that's such a sad state for college football. It really is. But Ole Miss wins without even breaking a sweat. Again, I so much like the last game, I'm going to bet the under, because I just don't even think Tulane's going to be able to put really any effort forward. And maybe Ole Miss calls off the Dogs. I don't know. So I wouldn't bet this game or the over under at all, because I don't know what Ole Miss is going to do if they just keep pummeling them. I don't know, but it's going to be ugly. It's going to be sad. Speaking of ugly and sad, Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern time, TNT and HBO Max. Number 12 seeded James Madison. They are 12-1. They travel to number 5 Oregon, who is 11-1. A 21.5 point home favorite. Your over under is 49.5.
I mean, if you want to prove your system's broken, just look at these two spreads in the first round of your championship. Like, let's expand it to 12, but really only 10. And even then, like 8, 9, and 10 are made up. So, what a mess. But, yeah, I mean, I know Oregon's probably going to just storm. I mean, I think your tale of not getting out of the first half is even more evident in this game. However, James Madison's score points, and kind of one of the I feel like one of these teams is going to keep it close. So since I've already gone in with Tulane, let's go in on a cover with JMU. And I think this one, the one thing I have with this, 21.5 is a lot of points, and it's not like you have to put on a show anymore. You don't have to sell a committee on anything. You're already there, and I think there's a better chance we start to see some guys rested, kind of late in the game, keep them fresh for the following week. So maybe JMU gets a backdoor cover here. And that low 49.5, I'm going to go ahead and take the over on that. I think in this one, James Madison has a big play here or there, scores a few, Oregon scores a ton, and then maybe hands JMU the ball back and says, here, why don't you cover that 21.5? We got some money on this.
Yeah, looking back at last year, for the first round games, Texas was a 10.5 point favorite over Clemson. SMU was an 8.5 point underdog to Penn State. Notre Dame 8.5 point favorite over Indiana, and a 7 point Ohio State 7 point favorite over Tennessee. So those were within 2 scores. And again, last year,
last season's bracket looked so much better.
Last year, well, and you had Boise State got a bye, which again, that also probably should never have happened.
Right.
And I'm not going full Joel Klatt here and saying that like these smaller teams shouldn't have a shot at all. I do think that the playoff system needs to look at potentially putting you have to be 18th or higher to be a conference champion and get in something. Because I mean, James Madison's ranked 24th, Tulane's 21st. It's not a good look. It's not a good system, and maybe my only hope is that these games will be embarrassing enough that the system might change again by the time we get to next year. But Oregon's going to win. Oregon's going to win handily. I'd even say somewhat comfortably cover that 21.5, which again is just such a sad statement. And this one, I think it does go over just because I think Oregon's going to score a ton of points. James Madison may catch a touchdown or a field, touchdown and a field goal, maybe get it to 10. But it's again, it's just going to be brutal. It's really going to be a
Well, it's the kind of thing where if no one had a bye, right? Like if you only had two teams with a bye, and you were rewarding a like 1 or 2 loss team that was essentially could be number one, but is sitting at number like you're taking a 5 seed, and you're just like handing them the second round theoretically, like
right.
You're like, here, go right ahead, and it just doesn't seem. And you have a 6 seed Ole Miss team that like. I mean, if it was like it's that situation, Florida State couldn't play because they didn't have a quarterback. Ole Miss can because they don't have a coach,
right?
And like now they just get like this coach gets a warm up game. I don't
right. And yeah, they weren't punished at all for losing their head coach and half their staff, but yeah, it's definitely a flawed system that. Maybe in the.
I think a play-in game might be in order where like you have your I'd say big 4, but I don't even know if ACC is a big conference. It's not a lot of power in that power conference. But whatever they shake down, I thought maybe like if you have your like your big 3, and then like your next 2 conference winners could do like a play-in game, like the week of the Army-Navy game or something. And then one of them gets hit. Like something to limit this. It's going to be rough.
It's got to give. It really does. It's going to be bad football. Sadly, 3 of the 4 games this weekend are probably going to be bad football. But enjoy it if you're going to be watching. I suppose I am not going to be partaking in that circus.